If you have a bulging disc in your back, you're in the right place because I'm going to show you 3 exercises you could do to get immediate relief. What's up guys, Dr. Nick here. So bulging discs, they're super common. You can have one but be asymptomatic. Now the thing is when they're symptomatic and problems for you, they cause pain such as pushing pressure on the nerve, you get that sciatic symptom of a bulging disc. It's a result of a bulging disc. So bulging discs, now, why do they happen? They happen for multiple reasons. Typically, they happen from problems such as too much force going through the disc, such as bending over, lifting up something super heavy and twisting. That's a common mechanism of this. But the idea is, in either way of why it's sparked up, you have a bulging disc, it's hurting, it's putting pressure on potentially the nerve root, getting symptoms down your leg potentially. The idea is, how do we fix this? We can fix it very simply. We're gonna go over 3 exercises to address it right now. Now with bulging discs, we can help this by creating traction through the spine, letting it elongate. When we create traction, that creates negative pressure, and then it helps things like a bulging disc kind of go back out of the way and not cause so much symptoms. So one that you could do is simply just get onto the side of a bench or a table, and you wanna first sit on it and get your legs out in front of you. From here, you sit up nice and tall. We're gonna have gravity as our friend helping us throughout this. We're gonna have a lot of our support on our arms. From here, we just wanna shift our butt off of the table and we bend our knees a little bit. And now all the weight is on my arms and my upper body. And I'm supporting my body by doing this. And what's happening is I'm getting that traction happening at my spine because my glutes and gravity is pushing and getting pulled down, creating that traction in the back. This is a very low level type of traction versus like a higher level traction where if you were to lie down on a table and someone pulls your legs from you, that's more of a higher level traction. So this is just a very low level. You could also just oscillate a little bit, move a little bit side to side, and find your motion that makes it feel a little bit better. Some will feel better just holding it. Some will feel a little bit better by just oscillating a little bit back and forth in circles. But the idea and the concept is getting this low level traction. A more advanced version of traction is if you have any types of bars, or this could be chairs right here, you put your legs behind you and then you just put your knees towards the floor, and again you use your upper body to support yourself throughout this. So right now, all of the effort is on my upper body, but I feel more of an emphasis going through traction of my back because I'm just offloading all the pressure on my back with using my arms. So when I do that, it creates that traction effect into the back. So feet are behind me, my knees go forward, and then I'm upright, using my upper body to support myself. Barely any pressure on my legs, maybe 5%, 95% on my upper body, and I'm feeling that traction load going through my spine. Now this could be very helpful, especially when you have very symptomatic bulging discs. It creates, again, that negative pressure to help get things in a little bit of a better place and ultimately help the symptoms. Even a more advanced version of this is holding on to like a pull-up bar, and you just hold and you let traction go there. But with traction, you also got to be a little careful because when we have a bulging disc, especially if it's putting pressure on the nerve root and you're getting sciatica symptoms, we don't want to stretch the nerve root and the nerve too much too fast. So if we go to higher level tractions, that could put a little bit more stretch through the area and cause irritation versus very low level types of traction to get the body feeling a little bit better, especially in the beginning. Next up is simple back bends. So with bulging discs, they typically get irritated from flexion sensitive motions, flexion sensitivity, sitting at the computer for too long, driving for too long, bending over and picking something up heavy. We found that going backwards, especially in my experience working with clients, going backwards into extension tends to do very well from a symptomatic standpoint. The advanced version of this would be the classic on your stomach doing prone press-ups, but this is just a variation in a standing position. It's also good because it's more realistic if you're working just to stand up and perform a couple back bends versus getting on the floor and doing a cobra at the work setting. It's something very easy. You can do multiple times throughout the day, especially when you're dealing with this type of thing. So feet are gonna be shoulder width apart or maybe slightly outside of it. Hands are gonna be on the upper glutes, like so. And from here, you just want to arch back until you feel maybe a pinching sensation. You might even feel a little bit of that pain come on, and then you come back off of it. Now with this, you don't want to just aggressively go into the stretch and just not have any mind-body awareness to this and just do this type of thing. That's not the concept of it. Mind-body connection of what your body is doing plays a huge role into how you're functioning. Because a lot of times spark-ups and all these things happen because we're so busy with all the stuff that we're doing in life, we just forget about our body. So nice and easy. We want to just go into it, might feel a little bit of a pinch or pain, come back out of it. We could use our hands to push yourself forward a little bit at the hips to get a little bit more overpressure throughout this. Again, nothing aggressive. We're just going. Typically in the beginning stages of this, especially when dealing with symptomatic disc, I like to get about 15 to 20 reps, 2 sets, multiple times throughout the day, 3, 4 times. Morning, during a snack, lunch, afternoon snack, dinner. You just can structure it so you're doing this more frequently throughout the day. Say you're dealing with this and you're just performing it one time throughout the day, it's just not enough for how much you're doing through life to then actually make a difference here. A more advanced version, like I said, is on the ground. You'll get more overpressure, but this is something, one, you could just start with on a daily, doing it multiple times to make the back feel a lot better. This one, we're gonna be working on isometric strength to the back. With bulging discs, we typically get a lot of sharp pain and we feel weak into the back. But by isometrically loading it, we can calm everything down and kind of strengthen from a very low level sense and get a good foundation to the back to then build off of. So from here, we're not gonna flex forward, but we're gonna hinge forward. So our hands are gonna be on the thighs. From here, you just slide, you bend your knees and you slide your hands down your thighs onto your knee. You're just resting on your knees because you're tired. Now from here, notice how my back is staying flat. Now from here, I'm gonna bring my arms over my head like so, and I'm just gonna hold this for a period of time. Now from here, my back is on from an isometric standpoint because my arms have gravity trying to push me down like this, but I don't wanna round, I wanna stay straight. So I go down like I just ran and I'm fatigued, I'm resting on my knees, keep my back straight. Then I brace my core, abs stay stiff, raise up and I hold. I feel all my back muscles on, my upper back muscles, even my low back muscles on too here. And I'm just gonna hold, duration 10 seconds as an example, come back. And I like to get more time under tension, say a minute. So if you did 10 seconds, you wanna do 6 of them. That'd be 1 minute. And then you get 2 to 3 rounds, you're getting more input into the system. The idea with this is you're getting low-level isometric strength to the spine. Isometrics are very good because it has an analgesic effect, meaning it lowers pain. So if you can lower the pain by getting some low-level strength to it, it will ultimately help you in the long run. So make sure when you're doing this, not to just compensate and flex forward like this, because it's likely gonna just contribute to the actual issue. Stay straight in the spine, stay stiff, lift up, get isolation work to the back, feel a lot better. Well, there you go. I hope this video gave you some insight and value to understand a little bit more about bulging discs and not to be so freaked out and worried about them. They're normal, they'll happen through life. Sometimes we have them and we just don't even know because it's asymptomatic. But when they're symptomatic, especially in the beginning stages, these are great exercises to do, especially in the beginning, to ultimately lower the discomfort and get yourself going in the right direction. If you did find value in this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you help out the channel by subscribing down below. It would really help out. Leave any comments down below, like the video, and I hope it really was helpful and you gained some insight. Until next time, this is Dr. Nick.